Hey guys, thanks for sticking around so long. My name is Jacqueline Mayuga, if you don't know me already, and I am happily accepting my nomination for External Vice President. Firstly, I would like to thank those who nominated me for multiple positions. I debated on accepting multiple candidacies, and to be honest, I genuinely considered vying for your votes for Treasurer and EVP. But that being said, I'm happy to prove that the EVP position is the one I am willing to fight for. I mean, don't get me wrong, being treasurer is fun, I love it. I'm obsessed with the numbers, and spreadsheets are my life source. I love being involved in every event we've planned so far and every event we're still planning. I love being the go-to girl when people need anything. But I'm ready to take on a different leadership position and work somewhere else than behind a screen. I want to get out of my comfort zone and challenge myself to see what I'm capable of and what I can accomplish for you guys. I can confidently say that my Troy Phi timeline has moved quickly. I went from general member to PR intern to a top 5 board member, all within the span of 4 months. However, I'm excited to increase my involvement in the Filipino community, and I welcome the opportunity to do so as your next EVP. My time on board has exposed me to a variety of TP and SC PASA events. I was at Friendship Games practice since day one, I went to PACN, every collab from San Bernardino to Santa Barbara and everything in between. You name it, I was either there or I wanted to be. But here's the thing, EVP isn't about who goes to the most things or how many people know your name. It's about how much you love Troy Phi and how much passion you have for our little club. And there isn't enough time or enough words to portray how proud I would be to represent us. Constitutionally, the EVP is responsible for 4 things. They facilitate general meetings, they're in charge of recruitment and membership development, they maintain relationships outside of USC, and they represent Troy Phi at SC PASA events. 1. I can manage GMs. It took some time to get used to the idea of people listening to me and having clout and validity, but thanks to Troy Phi, I'm at this point where I can confidently direct others. Back in the day when I used to run meetings for the climbing team, I dealt with people from all walks of life. I helped explore SC kids, and I learned from PhD candidates. In that same position, I helped execute initiatives that turned a club of 6 into a team of 72. And those same initiatives are still being used today and have continued to increase that roster into the mid-80s. So recruitment and membership development, check. More than that, I found the amount of time I have spent at SC PASA and external events have helped me develop strong foundations for professional relationships with these other organizations. The in-person interactions I've had with other members have helped create bonds with other schools, and I'm excited to be the single point of contact for the externals I'd be working with, potentially. As for our own members, I think we've been catering to those who already want to be involved, and we haven't invested enough time trying to motivate those on the fence. I mean, you can't force involvement, but you can always spark a reason to be. As far as I know, everyone running for a top 5 position and everyone who has shown interest on being on board in general has found a family within Troy Phi. That's been the word of the day. But if we can spread that love and that family that we found here with members as early as the involvement fair, they'll have the mentality that we're not just partiers who give away free food at barbecues at Cargar, but that time with us is time well spent, any time and always. If we can show everyone how much love we have for all of our members, we're a shoo-in to be a presence on campus, and that is my goal for Troy Phi. Outside of the Constitution, the EVP is also the co-chair of the fundraising committee alongside the treasurer. Since I'm currently the latter, I have experience with this important, albeit overlooked position. We've had great successes in smaller fundraisers and the GoFundMe for PACN, and I plan on replicating those fundraising projects next year. Our current committee has gotten the ball rolling on corporate sponsorships and their pitches, and I plan on really solidifying those by having a better game plan and having a designated team pitch our ideas to sponsors. Additionally, I'd like the committee to work with a community and culture chair to help build relationships with local businesses and increase our community presence, which would give Troy Phi a greater name in the LA area and make it easier for future boards to secure corporate sponsorships. With all that, I hope you find my qualifications and experiences useful to the position, and I look forward to potentially serving you in the upcoming year. Thanks.
Q&A starts now. 3 minutes.
Oh, yes, Christian.
So what is the vision of Troy Phi that you want to portray externally to people?
When you say externally, do you mean like with Filipino organizations outside of Troy Phi, or just with members of students at USC that aren't in Troy Phi?
Anybody who's not in Troy Phi.
Anyone who's not in Troy Phi? My vision for Troy Phi is the same as everyone else's. It is where you find your family first and foremost. I know everyone's tired of hearing that word probably, but we all know it's true. I find that the more we show how close we grow as a group and how welcoming we are to others, no matter how late in the year you show up, you will be welcome. And that's what I want people to get from us. I want them to know that they can always come to us when they need a rock in their college life.
Matt.
How would you compel general members to go to SC Pasa events?
I think something that Joel did that really worked well in the beginning was that he explained what things were, so people weren't just blindly attending things. But over the years, people have, like, if they weren't interested before, they weren't going to become interested because he kind of stopped those explanations midway through. I think a key thing that we should do is kind of keep those explanations going, show people how fun they can be, and basically just, I don't know, I found collabs fun, so it would be really easy for me to like talk those up, I guess. Yeah.
Any more questions? Rachel.
Do you have any specific plans in terms of recruiting more general members?
I think in terms of recruiting general members, we should start as early as possible. I do know that I in speech talked about how we should be more interactive with members at the involvement fair, and I think that's a really great point. Since our involvement fair is just us like throwing flyers around like, hey, are you busy like this Friday night, come get free food at Kargar while you're like skating away. I think we could do something more to compel them, kind of show us who we are as people, not just who we are as, oh, we're a Filipino club on campus, but you don't have to be Filipino. Like, they need to know more about who they want to be with, you know? Like, they need to see us as people, not just like this organization. Which is a great organization, by the way. I'm not, yeah. But we're also great people, like on our own.
Any more questions? I have a question. So you were talking about trying to motivate more people that are on the fence. What are some tangible ways that you go about that?
Like I mentioned in my speech, I find that all of us here have found some sort of family, some sort of bond within Troy Phi. And that, I think, is something members or like incoming students really look for. So if we can show them that we're willing to bring them into those bonds that we formed and we're not just an exclusive club that's really intimidating to people, then I think that'll kind of help them be motivated to join us and do things with us.
And Joel has a question. In your opinion, what does SC Pasa mean?
To me, SC Pasa is a place where people, whether or not they like care, like they will learn more about who they are as Filipinos. Like, honestly, when I went to my first collab, I just went because it was at San Bernardino and I'm from there, so I was like, okay, might as well. But then when I went, I learned that everyone kind of had a similar story, a similar timeline. Their parents all came from like the same struggles, and so did we, and we're all kind of just going towards the same goal. And I think that's one of the important things of SC Pasa. Like, you're finding this family of people just like you outside of like the school that you've been kind of sheltered in. There you go, Joel.
Any more questions? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, perfect, thank you.